cannot let that pressure get to us. Texas Tech says we've got to dictate the pace tonight. And here is Gemma Nunez, currently tied for number 3 in the NCAA total assists. Count the 3, it could be a 4-point play.
Well, I don't think you could ask for a better 8 seconds into the game. Talk about just getting the type of look that you want to have. That is Bailey Maupin just spotting up there in the corner. She's been really efficient so far this season when she's able to spot up and get that type of a clean look. I mean, that's a scouting report play out of the bat if you're SMU.
Well, she's coming off a season-low 6 points in the last game. She didn't force anything in that contest against Texas State. She was 0 for 3 shooting, and she's playing before both sets of grandparents tonight. They're up in the stands. And here is Paulina Paris, the transfer from Arizona, started her career at North Carolina. She likes to drive. She's a multi-level scorer, so you got to keep an eye on Paris. Shot clock at 6. Thought they had the turnover. Shot clock, not going to get it off. That'll be a violation. Good defense.
That's a great job right there by Jalen Bristow. Her ability to block shots and alter shots with her length has been one of the, there's been a lot of really bright spots with Bristow so far early on this season, but her length and her defensive presence in terms of contesting shots has been great.
Well, she's got 11 blocks. She had 7 in the opening game. Texas Tech coming off that win over Texas State, 83-50, and they go up quickly by 6.
Well, and I love how aggressive Bailey Maupin is being offensively out of the gate. Understanding, that's that veteran presence, understanding how important it is offensively to get off to a hot start.
SMU coming off a disappointing loss to Kansas State. They played great. They lost by 2 at the buzzer. They led pretty much the entire game. Shot off the mark, rebound. That's one thing Krista Gerlich told her team yesterday in practice. Emphatically, we've got to rebound against SMU because they'll make you pay. Maupin tries to get the rebound. Nunez fights for it. Ends up in the hands of Kyla Deck, the senior out of Frisco, Texas. Outstanding basketball player, especially on defense. King out front. There is Deck with the 3. No. SMU starting out 0 for 5 shooting. On the drive, Bristow, aggressive move. And that's something, Rachel, we didn't see last year from Jalen Bristow.
Well, her ability to grab a rebound with her length and take it the length of the floor. Defenses have to understand from the jump that she is looking to be aggressive at all times. As we take a look at the keys for Texas Tech, they've got to set the tone defensively and they've got to take care of the basketball. Very important because we know SMU, Adia Barnes teams historically are going to put a lot of pressure on the ball. So if they can value those possessions, you know, turnovers are going to ruin the momentum for Lady Raiders. So they've got to take care of the basketball and execute in the full court and the half court.
Well, one of the things the coaching staff was telling us yesterday at practice and again today at shoot-around, they want to exploit the pressure that SMU is going to put on. And we know SMU is going to press. But for Texas Tech, the bottom line is shot selection for them will really determine their production.
Yep, and I really do think rebounding, the battle on the glass is extremely important in every game, but especially a game like this when it comes down to possessions. But the team who takes care of the basketball the best team, in my opinion, is going to win this game.
Now, Jalen Bristow, 3 games, twice she has set career highs. Set the career high 22 last game against Texas Tech. And here is Ty Skinner we were talking about. The graduate out of Washington, D.C., started out at Delaware, ended up at Arizona State on the dribble drive. Jock can't get it. That's going to be an offensive foul. So right now, SMU, not a great start for them. 0 for 5 shooting and a turnover.
Well, they have 4 offensive rebounds, so that's a glaring concern for Texas Tech. They've got to do a better job of limiting second chance opportunities. But
Bristow stops on a dime, so Nugo can't get it. And here comes the Mustangs of SMU. Beat Grambling, lost, as we mentioned, to Kansas State at the buzzer. They're a great defensive team. They have forced 41 turnovers in 2 games. Inside, basket still has a lid on it.
Well, what a couple of missed opportunities there by SMU, just right at the rim. They're getting some clean looks and some aggressive line drives, but just not finishing at the rim early on.
Now Sanaya Jha will pick up the foul, and she is going to go out. You know, you look at this SMU team, Adia Barnes, she had to sign 15 players. No one returned from last year's team. But she and I were chatting earlier today, and I said, you know, that's probably a good thing because they're all your players. You don't have to integrate them to somebody who had been there the year before, and she agreed to it.
Well, and in the era of the transfer portal, you can make quick adjustments, and you can bring in players. Brought 3 players with her from Arizona. Player from the Big 12 in Ty Skinner. That's a great look inside by Sarah Sonogo. Just a little bit too much on it. When you get 2 feet in the paint like that, you've got to finish.
Let's take a look at the keys for the Mustangs of SMU.
Well, as I said before, valuing the possessions. They've got to limit turnovers. Coming into this game, SMU averaging 19 turnovers per game. They've got to get paint touches and establish themselves in the paint. And I'm going to echo off of that. Winning the rebounding battle, that is one of the biggest keys for the Mustangs.
And now they're going to go the other way, but the Mustangs 0 for 9 to start out the game. Skinner on the drive. Fritz commits the foul.
We're seeing both teams right now pushing the pace when they feel like they have opportunities. SMU very capable of executing in the half court, whether it's high ball screen, wing ball screen, 4-out-1 in action. But when they have numbers, and that young lady right there at the free throw line, Ty Skinner,
oh, wow.
They definitely want to push pace. See if they can be aggressive at the rim.
And again, last year when she played for Arizona State, she had 16 against Texas Tech, Skinner did. But what stood out to me when you watched her last year, she got to the free throw line nearly 4 times a game.
She does a great job of understanding where the defenders are at, understanding angles. Not the biggest player in the gym, but she certainly doesn't play like she's 5'5".
No. I still doubt if she's 5'5". No offense. I'm just guessing there. Last year, she was an 85% free throw shooter. She was Arizona State's 2nd leading scorer.
Big 12 honorable mention player last season.
But still, SMU looking for their first points, and inside, Sarah Sonogo.
Well, that's a great job of Sonogo doing her work early and driving her defender up the lane line. And SMU had that backside rotation, but just understanding where defenders are at and keeping the ball under control. That's a great finish.
And they need her to produce a little bit more. Comes in averaging just under 7 a game, but her strength is rebounding and shot blocking. Here's Moppin. In the corner, lets it fly off the iron. Nunez, she is all over. Texas Tech fans are going to like the game of Hema Nunez. Good rebounder, averages over 4 boards a ball game.
She knows how to stuff a stat sheet. I'll tell you that, from her assists, her ability to score, get to the free throw line, finishing around the rim, steals. I mean, you name it. Hema Nunez is phenomenal. It impacted the game one way or another.
I want to talk what we just saw with Bailey Maupin. She saw what the defense was doing. She hesitated just a little bit. Shot clock was running down as Bristow goes out. Collins comes in, but yet she was able to draw the contact.
Well,
Heady play.
Heady play, veteran play. You took the words right out of my mouth. Bailey Maupin. I mean, that's just a veteran presence and understanding scouting reports, being able to come off dribble handoff action with momentum and using those types of hesitation dribbles. Bailey Maupin does a great job with her body control as well in traffic.
Now she's averaging 6 free throw attempts a game here in the early going, and she's perfect tonight at 3 for 3. Maupin already with 8 points, and again coming off that 6-point effort in their last game. Out front, Skinner. She is a true point guard. Collins kind of dinged the knee a little bit up today. Ariel jumps it down inside. Tech swarms. Shot off the glass, caught it. Nice move by Abizam.
Well, you got to tip your hat there with that type of finish. I mean, there was 2 players digging in around her and trying to contest that shot. That's just a great post move.
Well, she scored 2 points in both of the games so far for SMU. And a whistle and a foul is going to be called. And it's going to be on Miriam Abizam, the senior out of Rochester, New York.
Well, this is what you have to do against an SMU defense that's going to get up in your grill and really pressure you. You've got to be strong with the basketball and look to attack, whether it's a defender's hip or look to backdoor. Most importantly, just being strong with the ball and not allowing that pressure to get you on your heels. Tech already in the bonus.
That's still with over 5 minutes left to play in the opening quarter. Here is Sarah Sonogo. the junior out of Paris, Texas. Her sister, Mimi Sonogo, is also on the team this season. Those two are like frickin' frack.
There's a Paris, Texas?
I'm sorry, Paris, France. I'm sorry, Paris, France. It's so funny because I was kidding about them. They're always cold, and today in Lubbock it was like 86.
Oh, it was beautiful today.
Yeah, so I don't think they're worried about being cold, but they are just as close as two sisters could possibly be. Boy, Collins gets bumped off on the drive. Thompson, he beats him, and Sonogo rips it away. And they're going to call that a jump ball possession arrow. They're going old-fashioned school with a possession arrow. The electronic one isn't up. They got just a little sign at Supermarkets Arena in Lubbock. A couple of more home games coming up before the Lady Raiders hit the road, trying to go to 4-0 on the year. Here's Skinner, the long three. She hoisted 210 three-pointers last season. Deep in the corner, no. The rebound pulled away by Sydney Love. Collins, no. And SMU will set things up. And deep in the corner, the three buried. Nice job by Ayanna Thompson, the senior out of DeSoto, Texas.
Well, that was a much-needed bucket for SMU, who was shooting 7% on the game up until that shot. They're getting great looks. They're being aggressive on the offensive glass. Tech has given up seven offensive rebounds, but their second chance points aren't going down, as that is a response there out of Bailey Maupin. She's got a smile on her way back down the court.
That stops a 2-minute and 32-second scoring drought for the Lady Raiders, and they open up a 9-point advantage. Their biggest lead has been 10. If you just joined us, SMU started slowly in this game. Had trouble getting their first basket to go down, didn't get it until the 5:24 mark. They did have a free throw at about 6:40. Bailey took her eyes off it. Malone cleans it up. I want to talk about Jada Malone, the graduate out of Chandler, Arizona, comes over from Texas A&M. You and I have been talking, even since the last game, what an integral part she's going to have to play for Texas Tech this year.
Yeah, and I'm really looking forward to just seeing more minutes under her belt, but she's been getting in foul trouble early on this season. It's kind of hindered her comfortability on the court, but this is the type of player that Texas Tech needs, especially from a depth perspective in the post, and especially as they get deeper into the Big 12 schedule. This is an experienced post player at Texas A&M. I mean, they're going to need to rely on her heavily. She's going to have to find ways to stay on the court and stay out of foul trouble.
You mentioned that foul trouble. She has 11 personal fouls in 3 games. DQ during the UTSA game. Stays perfect from the free throw line this season. And the lead gets pushed up to 11. Biggest lead of the game for Texas Tech. They show that little trap, and this is something Coach Barnes says we've got to handle. Thompson breaks away, and they throw it away. That'll be only the 3rd turnover for the Mustangs. Bristow, coast to coast.
How many times a game do we see Jalen Bristow go coast to coast? Has been incredibly impressive. Named to the Big 12 starting 5 earlier this week. And that is why, everybody, right there.
Now she's coming off a career-high 22, and that's going to get a timeout. Jalen Bristow has the ability to rebound, take it herself, and that's being a plus. Or secure your seats now at TexasTech.com. We'd rather have you come out. It's going to be a fun weekend. Of course, the football team. I mean, we got softball tomorrow. We got soccer tomorrow here at Texas Tech. And then the football game against Central Florida. Skinner off the glass, counted.
Those are the types of shots that Ty Skinner, you expect Ty Skinner to make. This is such a high level of difficulty, but being able to get downhill and attack length at the rim, going over Sonogo, him and Nunez coming over to contest that shot. That's just experience right there. And right now, SMU desperately looking for an answer offensively. Is Ty Skinner, again, this is just her first few minutes playing in an SMU uniform, let alone so far this season.
Again, averaged just under 17 points. Honorable mention all Big 12 last year at Arizona State. Closing in on 2 minutes to play here in the opening quarter. Bristow inside, just muscles her way up, and she's got 8 points in the ball game.
Yeah, that's a great job of Texas Tech calling that Iverson cut and basically calling a play to isolate Jalen Bristow at the rim. You can see why they're forcing her touches and possessions, because she is such a matchup problem with her athleticism.
Today, Fritz for three, knocks it down, and the Lady Raiders are 3 of 5 from beyond the arc.
That's tough right now. Texas Tech shooting 38% from the three-point line on the season so far tonight. 2 of 4 for 50%. We talk a lot about the offensive weapons on this team, and Ron, you've been doing this a lot longer than I have here in Lubbock calling these games. How different is it for you just seeing so many weapons in depth?
Yeah. I think what I've noticed is Collins will come back into the lineup and Sydney Love will go out. I think what I've noticed mainly is on defense, because Krista Gerlich last year, she kind of had a piecemeal her defense together and it never clicked. This year she's got the people to do it, but she also has the shooters that can put up a lot of points because they're all seniors. Maupin comes down with a rebound, final 75 seconds. Texas Tech, one of the keys this year, they've been playing outstanding defense. No opponent has had less than 22 turnovers. But SMU defense outstanding. Top 5 in the ACC, number 2 in three-point percentage, 4 in steals, 4th in blocks, 4th in turnovers forced. Nice ball fake. Take 3. Top of the arc. Sonogo pulls down the rebound. That is her 3rd board. Tech has hit 5 of their last 6 shots. Collins from the outside rattles home another 3.
I mean, I watched SMU practice defending that exact play and shoot around today. That's just a breakdown. You can't allow Snetta Collins that much room on plunger action coming up from the low post to the high post.
Well, no team, in fact, in 2 games, SMU's only given up 8 3-pointers. They've given up 3 today. Texas Tech got an 8-0 run. Shot clock turned off. Here's Nunez with the scoop, can't get it. Final 2 seconds. Shot on the way at the buzzer, off the back of the iron. Nice job by King.
I would say this is the best start I've seen out of Texas Tech so far this season. I know they were challenged heavily this week. I think a lot of teams, maybe younger and more inexperienced teams, might be feeling good about themselves being 3-0 on the season. Great cut there by Bailey Maupin. There's a lot of contact. Surprised there wasn't a body foul on that one. But you can tell, understanding that things are getting ramped up right now, okay? You go 3-0 against a mid-major competition, but now things, they go to another level now with ACC, SEC opponents coming into town. And I like the way Texas Tech has come out in this game. They've answered the bell in the way Krista Gerlich has challenged them so far this week.
Jalen Bristow is going to come in. Sarah Sonogo will go out. SMU celebrating their 50th year of basketball. Texas Tech, of course, celebrated that last season. Great tradition at SMU for basketball. And I love the fact that they've got an athletic director that believes in women's sports. Damon Evans says he called SMU, the women's basketball team, a sleeping giant, and I get excited when ADs take an interest in women's sports, especially women's basketball. I'm partial, of course, because of the W.
Well, and that's a huge reason why Adia Barnes found this job so desirable. She really feels like they have the backing and support to really turn this thing around and do what she wants to do. And we know she's an experienced, not just player, former player, coach. She's had success at every level, and so this opportunity at SMU and that type of backing and investment is something she preaches about almost every stop along the way. She is so excited about what she could potentially build there.
Well, Collins commits the first turnover for the Lady Raiders in the ball game. And Sanaya Zhu will check back into the lineup. The junior out of Alexandria, Virginia, started her career at South Carolina, was in Arizona for a year. Had 19 points in the opening game this season against Grambling in game number 1. On top, here's Deck. When she plants her feet, she's a great shooter. Can't get it to go. Bristow pulls it away and lost it. Deck always goes for the steals. And Jew there to clean things up.
I mean, absolutely unbelievable. There have been probably, what, 8 to 10 points from SMU left off the board just by bunnies right around the rim that they haven't been able to get to go down. Right now, shooting still just 17% on the game with 4 made field goals.
There is Bristow. Fritz left open for the 3, a little bit short. Bristow pokes it away. Into the hands of Ja. And she'll give it up to Skinner. Again, as we mentioned, playing in her first game of the year. She likes to drive, and she can make the defenses collapse. Nice pass deep in the corner. 4-3, Barry.
And that's because Ty Skinner handled that pressure exceptionally well. Tech tried to trap. She was able to handle the trap on her own, kick it out for a wide open horse shot on the perimeter.
You know, it's funny, you look at the scouting report and watch practice yesterday where Texas Tech spent a lot of time at the Womble Center just drilling defense in. But when they said when it came to King, you said you got to shift with what's happening, and you can't let her set her feet. She'll bury the 3. Nunez. Oh, they got the clock fixed. I mean, now we can see the possession arrow belongs to SMU.
That's just a miscommunication there by Texas Tech on the out-of-bounds play. That's a big opportunity for SMU. I mean, look to inbound the ball. They're just turning their backs to the pass, and Ty Skinner, usually I always say first one on the ground comes up with the possession.
Texas Tech has not scored here in the second. SMU opening up the second with a 5-0 mini run. Skinner, 4-3, knocks it down. Their 4th from beyond the arc. Krista Gerlich has seen enough.
Arizona won 19 games, went 10-8 in the Big 12.
One thing Coach Barnes was telling us earlier today, says we've got to handle their pressure. We've got to guard Tech's actions. So far, they've been able to do that here in the second. Nunez, they show the double. Malone, position inside, got it. Malone is good inside. She's a career 56% field goal shooter.
Well, pick and roll decision game out of Hema Nunez. Did a great job on the throwback, and Malone, great job just going one-on-one in the post. That's what they need out of her in terms of just her hands and her ability to finish around the rim.
How about a good poke check there by Danae Fritz, freeing up that ball. That's a turnover. That'll be the 5th turnover for SMU. Early on this season, they're averaging 19 miscues. Bailey Maupin. Malone, offensive rebound. Went to the right side, could have gone to the left side. And we've got a whistle and a foul.
I would have loved for Malone, I know she's battling right now, I would have loved for her just maybe a power dribble to the right side or to the left side of the rim just to give herself a better angle. She was kind of underneath the basket on that last shot.
And we talked about the fouls on Malone. She picks up her first personal foul. Jada Malone out of Chandler, Arizona. Here comes SMU. Nice job splitting the double on the dribble penetration. Easy layup. Sanaya Ja gets the 2.
Leading SMU in scoring, just under 13 points per game. Just like that, SMU getting hot a little bit offensively. 4 of their last 4, and that's going to be a response out of Jalen Bristow.
And she goes into double figures, and a foul's called. So Bristow's got 10 points in the ball game to go along with a couple of rebounds. But there was an offensive foul on Texas Tech after the basket. I think it's going to be on Malone again. And it will be on Malone. That'll be her second. She goes out. Collins comes back in. You know, you look at this SMU team, they played at such a methodical pace against Kansas State. Again, they led the entire game till K-State hit a shot at the buzzer. Here's Bristow. Wisely gives it up. Maupin sees an opening off the glass, counting. Maupin's got 13 in the ball game. 78th career double-figure game for Bailey Maupin. That's going to be an offensive foul on Ibizum.
That's a great job there by Danae Fritz. Was not necessarily late on the rotation. It wasn't the rotation that she was going to be able to deflect that ball, but doing a great job of just walling up behind the post. And as soon as that turn, was able to take enough of a hit and sell it. Those are the types of toughness plays, charges, plays like that. Near turnover there.
They got lucky.
Texas Tech. But those are the types of toughness plays that Krista Gerlich wants to see out of her team.
One thing Texas Tech has done, last 2 games, they've shot well from 3, 44%. They're at 50%, 4 of 8 in this game. Here's Collins, pull up, 13, got it.
That's tough.
She's got 5.
I don't know that you can really necessarily guard that with her length. I mean, we know Collins can shoot the 3. We know she can attack the rim, but when she's getting into that mid-range game and elevating over opponents, I don't think there's a person in this gym who can contest that shot.
Bristow just takes it away, and again, she stretches the floor so many ways. Ja goes down hard. She's slow to get up. Fritz for 3. Rebound, Collins goes right side, easy 2. Collins has 7. Kind of reminiscent of the last game. No points in the first quarter for Collins. Ends up with 20 in the game.
I mean, just complete instant offense and instant impact when she's in the game. She can completely change the momentum and how a game is being played. To some degree, SMU is winning this quarter offensively. Started out 8-0, and just like that, Collins comes in the game, and it's a completely different ball game. It's now tied up 10-10 in the second frame.
Bristow another rebound in the corner. Collins, 1 dribble, no. Nunez. I think you can say she shot from her hip. I don't think that ball was above her shoulders.
Well, she didn't have to. There was nobody around. She does a great job of reading the basketball, the flight of the ball. That's why she comes up with so many rebounds. She just has such great instincts.
Had a great chance to talk to Emma Nunez, the senior out of Spain. Was at Campbell, transferred over here. Talked to her yesterday. Just an enjoyable conversation with him as we look at the last play, and it belonged to SMU. She's just having a ball. I mean, she loves this team. She loves playing for Texas Tech. I mean, think about it. She's had 3 steals in every game so far this year for the Lady Raiders. Skinner from the outside. She nails the 3. Her 3rd of the ball game, and she's got 13. The Tech has hit 5 of their last 7 shots. Skinner, she likes to push it. Look at the speed. Up ahead, Deck. Pass inside, no. And the follow, nice job keeping it up with Ibizum.
Yeah, that's great transition pressure that SMU just put on Texas Tech defensively. Those paint touches are what they want to have. Got to get more of those if they want to chip back into this lead. These next, I mean, if I'm SMU, I'm looking at these next 3 minutes as an opportunity. You got to come up with some stops. You can't give up that type of look like that right there to a Bailey Maupin. I mean, that is a high percentage shot, but right now Texas Tech just doing such a great job of picking apart SMU defensively. Their first rotation, their second rotation, and taking care of the basketball for high percentage shots.
Now the most 3-pointers hit against SMU's defense this year. Skinner, no. Nunez the rebound. Bailey Maupin, she has been hot from the outside. She's got 3 3-pointers. Fritz, back of the iron. Maupin with 3 threes. She had 4 the first 3 games. Here's Deck. Nice job, Fritz, backing her out. They want to force this SMU offense out a little bit farther. Coach Barnes calls about 80% of the plays when their actions are stopped and they have to set up. Then they usually run like a 4-out motion offense. Paris has it knocked away with 5 to shoot. Sydney Love will come back into the lineup. Of course, didn't play the first couple of games. Wearing glasses. Had kind of some headaches and they weren't sure, and I was kidding her tonight. I said, you know, I have to start calling you Alicia Gray.
It's a look. I like it.
She's got the goggles like Alicia.
No, she rocks it very well. I will give her credit for that.
I got to get A to send her a couple of her goggles. I'll text her later. Alicia Gray, of course, playing for the Atlanta Dream. Long 3, no. Collins knocks it out. I think it's going to be a fresh 30, and it will. Or 20 they're going to put on the clock. Great officiating crew tonight, by the way. Julie Cromenhook, Kevin Pathel, Josh Howe. Those 3 are experienced, and they call a great game. Here's Skinner out front. 2:10 to play in the half. Love. Skinner tries to throw up the prayer, not going to get it. And they're going to call a timeout, says Kevin.
Ty Skinner came off those ball screens looking to create some contact on the shot. Nothing's going to develop out of that. It'll say Texas Tech ball.
Now they're going to take Deck out. And checking into the lineup, Harriel, the redshirt senior out of Sacramento, California. Played for Stanford for 3 seasons, and we're at the 2-minute mark here in the second. Tech is led by as many as 21. SMU's never led. Nunez is going to be fouled by Paris hard. I like Polita Paris in her game. You look at her, the way she played defense prior to this, and even in Arizona last year, to how she's playing defense this year, it's night and day. She's really improved her defensive ability.
Well, you want to see that natural progression, right, throughout the course of a player's career, and that's going to be a necessity for an Adia Barnes team that takes so much pride on their defensive pressure and their presence. I can guarantee you, though, I mean, if SMU isn't able to come up with a couple of stops, and man, that is a good takeaway that they desperately needed, a transition bucket.
And Thompson with the easy layup, and she read that perfectly, and we've got a whistle. I'm not sure if it's a clock violation or what, but Kevin Bethel's going to go over to the scores table. I love what Thompson did, though. She saw that the ball handler was going to get tied up, and she just jumped on that. Now everything's okay. And they're calling both teams out, saying, let's go with 1:37 to play in the opening half.
Well, and if you're SMU right now, okay, you're able to come down, you get a stop, you convert a stop into easy offense. Being able to play this next minute and 37, coming up with some consecutive stops before you go into halftime with some momentum defensively.
Exactly.
I'm sure Adia Barnes has not been overly impressed with their transition defense. They're contesting shots on the perimeter. She's going to challenge them defensively at halftime, but right now it's about stringing together back-to-back defensive stops. There's another one. Getting Jalen Bristow to miss that close to the rim. She's not going to miss very many of those.
Nice quick hands. Bailey Maupin with the steal. That's the 5th steal of the ball game, but it ends up with SMU missing the 3 by Skinner.
I'll be really honest, this has been a physical game. There's been a lot of contact in this one that I feel like at times the referees are letting them play a little bit.
I kind of like that, no offense. I sort of do. Paris out front, they jump on the double. This is where Texas Tech's got to take advantage of it. Collins going to be fouled on the play.
And I got to give a lot of credit to Gemma Nunez there. It is really difficult to know when is SMU going to jump her and put that type of pressure. She stayed composed, and she was able to kind of withstand that trap, split it just with her pivot foot, and that created a high percentage look at the rim as we take another look at the play by Bailey Maupin, coming up with this steal and deflection, and then no, nothing. You can see the bench reacting, wanting a foul call.
And here is Snuda Collins out of Brookhaven, Massachusetts. Comes over from Ole Miss. Didn't play last season. And the thing that has stood out about her, and even talking to her the last couple of games, the smile on her face that she's back on the basketball court. That's going to be a travel. Bailey Maupin tried to draw the charge.
I'm looking at some of the faces of the Texas Tech bench right now. Everybody wanting an offensive foul.
That's pretty hefty.
That's pretty good.
But as we've mentioned for the last couple of years, she grew up on a cattle ranching farm. She's tough. And I met one of her grandfathers tonight, and both grandmothers. That whole family's tough. Great people too. Here is Sydney Love being hounded by Deck. Deck will pick your pocket. #1 in the ACC in steals with 10. Love got the ball on her hip. Plenty of time on the shot clock. Actually, the clock is not moving. The clock is not moving. Now it is. SMU was.
That was about 8 seconds that ran off that.
At least. SMU on the sideline. You just work it down to about 5.
I would, for sure. Absolutely. I'm looking.
So you can get the offensive rebound in case the miss. Unless, of course, Bristow goes one-on-one with somebody.
Well, I think get Gemma Nunez in some pick and roll action, allow her to get deep into the paint and create a high percentage shot. That's what she's been doing all game.
Skinner, now they jump out with Thompson. They throw it up at the buzzer, not going to do it.
That's a great job. That's a great job by SMU, I would say, in those last 5, 6, 7 minutes of the second quarter, doing a much better job on the
college. She's only 3 points away from 1,000 in her career. And Tech will begin with the ball here in the second half. Glad you're with us tonight. Once again, 2 more home games remain before the team goes on the road. That is something I think Sarah could do every play.
Well, and Texas Tech has ran that action 2 or 3 times, and they've been running it for Bristow, and she demands so much respect defensively. And that was a great read by Bailey Maupin, seeing the slip out of Sarah Sonogo at the rim.
On the drive, Tech, no. Sonogo pulls away the rebound emphatically. That's her 4th board of the night. Nunez quickly picked up by Deck. Deck, an outstanding defensive player. 63 steals last season. Here's Maupin. You can feel the defensive intensity is picked up for SMU. Show the double. Nice job overplaying the pass by Thompson. That'll be the 6th steal for SMU in the game. Thompson, finger roll, no.
One thing I'm paying attention to right now is the rebounding effort out of Texas Tech. I mean, I can guarantee you that Krista Gerlich challenged her squad. That many offensive rebounds is not going to get it done. Is Bristow not able to knock down that 3? So I want to watch this first 4 or 5 minutes of this game of the effort on the glass for Tech. When that shot goes up, how many players are turning and blocking out? As you see a tie-up right now.
They're going to call the foul on the play, though, before the jump ball. And that's going to be a push underneath. And that'll be on Sarah Sonogo. And the push, I guess it was before that. Sarah picked up her 3rd personal foul. And Jada Malone's going to have to come into the lineup. That's just we were going back talking about how Jada Malone is going to be needed this season. And they had a chance for the rebound. Tech couldn't get it. SMU does. Skinner calls out the play. Nunez goes over top of the pick. Thompson, nice ball movement, opens up the 3, buried.
10-second chance points out of SMU, doing a job on the offensive glass.
And Nunez looked like she may have tweaked an ankle. She gets up slowly, but how about King knocking down her 2nd 3? She's got 6 in the ball game for the sophomore from Brooklyn, transfer from Cal. You know, you look at the scouting report on her is that she's a lefty, she's a playmaker, and can knock down the 3. Bristow, they give her the 3, takes it. They don't mind her shooting 3. She had 7 in an exhibition game. This time working on Thompson. Thompson will commit the foul. That'll be her 1st.
And that's a great job by Jada Malone, being aggressive on the offensive glass. It's just the 6th O board for Texas Tech, but that's what she can bring to this team. We've seen it so far a little bit tonight. Her presence down low, but doing a great job on the O boards. This allows that 2nd chance point, and for Bristow to be able to go to work down low. I love her versatility. She can shoot the 3, she can advance it in the full court, she can post you up down low and take advantage of mismatches. She is such a versatile player.
And the pride of Holiday, Texas, which is up by Wichita Falls, 2.4 square miles. I think when I drove from here back to Dallas one time, I went through that. I'm not sure.
Did you go through Paris, Texas?
Yeah, I've been through Paris, Texas. I'll stick to Dallas. King trying to get free, has to kick it back out. Skinner, great ball fake. Maupin tries to draw the contact, and that caused the turnover. Skinner goes down hard, holding her left elbow. And she is up slowly. Bailey launches the 3. Malone, offensive rebound, and the putback. She's got a half a dozen. But Skinner walking in front of the SMU bench. I think she's going to be okay.
Yeah, she took a hard fall on that left elbow, that last possession, trying to split the defense.
Skinner, the pull-up jumper, no. Tech up by 20. They've led by as many as 21. Now this is a time where Krista Gerlich wants this team to learn how to keep their foot on the pedal.
You took the words literally right out of my mouth. I was getting ready to talk about just...
God, it's only our 4th game, too.
that type of chemistry. I'm loving Malone's right now. I've been waiting to see this out of Jada Malone, a presence down low that Texas Tech has not had. She's keeping herself out of foul trouble, so she's getting a little bit of rhythm, but she's posting up. She's creating second chance opportunities on the glass. We're seeing the presence out of Malone that we were talking with Krista Gerlich early in this game. This is why they brought her into this program.
Well, Jada Malone had 5 points in the first 3 games. She's got 8 points tonight. Sydney Love's going to come in today. Fritz will go out. Tech on a 6-0 run. Biggest lead of the game at 22. And you like that, the fact that Texas Tech last year, at times in the 3rd quarter, they did not come out the aggressor. And that cost them a lot of games. We've seen them come out a lot better this year in the 3rd. Here's Bristow. The floater, a little too strong. Malone, there you go. Got your wish.
The second chance points, and that is why Jada Malone is in the game right now. I guarantee you Krista Gerlich was not happy with Tech's effort on the offensive boards, and that, again, that's what she can bring to this team. This has been a huge start to this 3rd quarter. Every team in the country right now is trying to figure out what are we working with in terms of starts. Coming out of the gate of the game, coming out of halftime. What kind of momentum, what type of team am I working with? We've seen Tech so far, just 3 games into the season, is of course that one's going to go down. They've been so good from the 3-point line. That's 6 of 16 right now for Texas Tech, shooting 36%. That is right on par as Adia Barnes has seen it up. She's going to call timeout.
Well, Texas Tech has outscored SMU 13-3 here in the 3rd. They're on an 11-0 run after hitting 4 of their last. Have you out here?
All right.
This is a special team.
It is. And I want to just reiterate just the depth on this team, the experience on this team. This is one of the oldest teams in the country, so that sense of urgency to be great this season is there. Right now, Texas Tech ranked 1st in the Big 12 and 16th nationally in field goal percentage defense, and you're seeing it on display right now. Texas Tech holding SMU to just 26% from the field in this game.
How about Bailey Maupin getting her 2nd block? Jada Malone, what she did before that pass came in was impressive. Jada Malone was looking, okay, where is the gap in this defense where I can get where they can get me the pass? That's heads-up play.
Well, like I said before, I mean, I keep talking about it. I've been waiting to see this out of Jada Malone, and this is just another weapon. And if you remember, we've been here, what, 11 times over the last week with all these home games that we've had.
Like it.
But in one of the opens, we were talking about how any given night, it could be a different player's night for Texas Tech. I mean, we know what Bailey Maupin can do. We've seen what Hema Nunez can do early on and how dynamic and how much of a playmaker she is. Obviously, Jalen Bristow has been excellent, one of the top players in the Big 12 right now. We saw Love last game. We've seen Collins go off. You're seeing Malone do a lot of great things right now. I mean, not only can this team defend their tails off, but there's a lot of great offensive weaponry that we have not seen out of Lubbock and Texas Tech women's basketball in a minute.
Absolutely. 18 now for Bristow. Got her career high last game with 22. Has a chance to make it 3 out of 4 games, getting a new career high. Checking into the lineup, Phil Changanov, the senior out of Moscow, Russia. Yeliza Vieta. And easy layup, Bailey Maupin.
That's it.
She's got 18.
Points off turnovers, 14 points off of 13 SMU turnovers.
That's a 16-0 run for Texas Tech over the last 3:30. We're going to get a timeout. 4:23 left to play in the 3rd.
As we look at the numbers coming out of Jada Malone, she is a veteran player, redshirt senior with a lot of experience under her belt. But Texas Tech, one of the most experienced teams in the country, 831 games played between the players on this roster. That combines for, well, now, this was before we started the season, so that's higher now, but 18,204 minutes played. That is second out of all Power 4 schools. So that just talks about the experience, how old, how veteran. Now, a lot of them are new and learning to play together, but I have been so impressed with just the poise of this team. And again, the underlining tone is urgency. We've got to win. We've got to be aggressive night in and night out, and we've got to get our way back to the NCAA tournament and get the respect back on Texas Tech women's basketball the way it should be.
Well, Changada in the lineup doing a good job. Knocked out, 6 on the shot clock. SMU will have it. They have a scoring drought closing in on 4.5 minutes, 4:21 to be exact.
16-0 run over the last 4 minutes. SMU, another turnover. That's going to be their 13th of the game.
And then Deck with a pick. Talked about the fact that that's what she does so well. 10 steals coming into the game for Deck, and that's her second tonight. I like her game defensively. Out of Frisco, Texas, started out at Stephen F. Austin. Played for Coach Burton up in North Texas for 1 year. Very talented player. Member of all WAC defensive team. Bailey Maupin read it, knocked it out. It'll be SMU's basketball.
I'll be honest, that is such a risky pass from this angle, right in front of us, to throw it that diagonal pass, the opposite side of the opposite wing. Got to find a way to have your primary ball handlers hold their man off on their hip over here in the backcourt and get open for a much simpler pass.
I go back to the legendary Hubie Brown, what he always preached in his clinics and when he was on the air with us: make the simple play. They're going to call that a jump ball. Possession arrow will belong to SMU. Now, coming into this game in the first half, SMU was outscoring opponents by 16. Their second quarter was their best at 22 points, but that wasn't the case so far today. Nice job, Malone. Held her ground, didn't move into her, and it ends up in the turnover.
And that was the difference of last game to this game. Going straight up, walling off with her body and doing a good job of not fouling. And right now there's going to be a double foul. A lot of contact down low.
And Malone goes, me? It's going to be on Jada. And that'll be her second personal foul.
It's interesting. I thought that would go both ways, the way both players were kind of working for positioning down low. Some frustration at times. Listen, I'm a former post player myself. You get beat up and you get banged up so much in a game. Sometimes that physicality, man, it just comes out. Frustration can come out.
They jump out on Love. Picks up her dribble. 10 to shoot. Oh, little play. Nice move. Emma can't get it.
Well, that's a great job by Deck being able to come over and just make a play on a wide open look at the rim from Nunez. I thought we would see a lot more. That's a much needed bucket out of Deck.
Yeah, she was 0 for 7 before she made that from the
SMU
floor.
only had 3 points in this quarter before that shot went in.
Nunez to Collins. That'll be a travel. We'll go the other way with it with 2:48 to play.
What I was going to say before, I thought we would see a lot more backdoor cuts. That previous possession of that back cut by Hema Nunez. Great job. When a defense is pressuring you that way and pressuring you in the passing lanes on the wings, those backdoor cuts are great effective ways to get yourself a nice clean look at the rim.
And that's what the coaching staff, shot from the outside, was preaching yesterday, and we mentioned it earlier. Exploit the SMU pressure with backdoor cuts. They worked extensively on that yesterday, and inbounds plays. Nice defensive play by Abizum.
That's going to be a turnover. 3 seconds in the lane by. Want to be able to talk about some of these things and get our head back into the right place. It'll be interesting to watch both of these teams later in the year in February and how they're utilizing those timeouts. They will not be the same.
I think the word for Texas Tech is not a rip on any previous team, but this team is more coachable. They want to be good, and they don't mind being coached hard, which I think all of us are the opinion. Great players want to be coached hard. He beats him inside. That's a pretty move.
That's a great up and under. Great composure. A lot of post players catch the ball that down low, that deep, and immediately either power dribble. She kept her pivot foot, utilized that up and under. Great job and poise, reading the defense.
Texas Tech has hit 4 of their last 5 shots, but their scoring drought 2.5. Bailey Maupin says, I'll stop it. She's got a 20-point game, her 18th of her career.
She's so good when she picks and chooses to be aggressive at the rim.
On the drive, Deck hits the deck. I'll tell you, Kyla Deck averaged just over 10 points last season, had 2 games of 27 points. She's a competitor. Foul's going to be on Gemma Nunez. That'll be her second personal foul. Bailey Maupin, Gemma Nunez will go out, and at the line it's going to be Kyla Deck.
Interestingly enough, this is just the 4th free throw attempt from SMU in this game. Texas Tech doing a great job winning the free throw battle. A lot of coaches will say, okay, a big key for us is make more free throws than the other team attempts. Texas Tech has made 11. SMU has only shot 4.
And SMU came in the 2 games averaging 22.5. Three-pointer knocked down by Collins, and Collins goes over 1,000 career points. Deck from the outside, no. Bristow pulls down the rebound. She is 2 rebounds away from a double-double. 18 and 8 now for Jalen Bristow. Get a little sloppy with the ball again. Deck with the steal. That is her 3rd of the ball game. Ends up with an easy 2. 13 steals in 3 games for Deck. That drives coaches absolutely crazy when you have a good lead and you have a sloppy turnover like that.
Well, I also think too right now you're seeing Krista Gerlich operate with some different rotations.
Good point.
Out on the court. And Love, I mean, this is only her 2nd game in a Texas Tech uniform. Collins still very much finding a rhythm, and so you know this is an opportunity right now with just about 33 seconds left to play with a few different players and work with a few different lineups. I mean, I was talking with Krista Gerlich. It's very important that she gets these early opportunities and she's able to get deep into her bench and to develop her bench. The top teams in the Big 12 are playing, you know, 8, 9 deep consistently. She felt like, okay, I think we're at about 8 right now, but I really want to be able to challenge my team. Make me play you. Give me a reason to have you on the floor. I want to go as deep as possible this year.
Second 20-point game this year for Jalen Bristow. That is her 2nd also of her career, I might add. Texas Tech, 4 players in double figures. They've already had a game this year with 5 players in double figures, something we didn't say at all during the 24-25 season. And the lead is big. Tech has hit 6 of their last 7. Here is Skinner. Once again, bang the elbow. Nice job. Sonogo forces the turnover. That'll be the 15th turnover for SMU, and then a whistle on the other end.
That's another thing I think that impresses me about Texas Tech is how disruptive their length can be. Not just at the rim. We know they're ranked in the country in terms of block shots, but their ability to just be long and disruptive. And you've got Snetta Collins, who's incredibly long. Sarah Sonogo, who her length is as intimidating as it comes. Texas Tech's length is a problem for opponents.
Well, they've got 10 steals in the ball game. Coach Barnes, I mean, you got 15 new players. It's going to take a while for them to gel, but no question about it. Coach Barnes can flat out coach.
Well, and I can tell you right now, she's one of the hardest working coaches in the country. Does a great job on the recruiting standpoint. Right now, you know, you're looking at SMU, and like you said, I think what you're seeing is this is the 3rd game of the season for this team. Not a lot of experience together. And you're seeing that. You're seeing experienced versus not a ton of experience. Basketball in her hands. And she's not just looking to score and be aggressive on that end of the floor. She's making plays defensively, rebounding, blocking shots, anticipating passing lanes. I mean, you guys, this is a player.
Bailey Maupin read that perfectly. Almost picked up Texas Tech's 11th steal.
I actually think Bristow could average a double-double.
I think so, too.
It blows my mind she hasn't had a double-double.
14 steals, by the way, is the season high for Texas Tech. Here's Deck. She's done a nice job. I think for SMU, they turned the ball over. That'll be the 16th turnover. Sydney Love than she's going to be fouled. I think this next 9:32 is important for SMU. Now, talking to Coach Barnes earlier this morning, and I said, is this an important game for you? She says, yeah, it's our first road game, but we kind of want to see where we are. But I think now she wants to see what players are going to want to put the effort in to try to make this better.
Right. I mean, it's gut check time. Nobody wants to be in this position right now. I'm surprised that SMU is in this position right now. But again, I think you have to give the credit to Texas Tech.
Yeah.
Texas Tech defensively, offensively. This team is playing at a very high level early on in the season. I think we can establish that right now. SMU is a little bit more of a question mark just because of the circumstances, and so you're exactly right. Who's going to set the tone? We know Ty Skinner's going to step up. We know she's a veteran.
Yeah.
We know she's an elite competitor. But who else is going to step up right now and take some pride and handle this Texas Tech pressure and get better and take a step these next 9 minutes of this game?
Skinner being hounded by Love. Shot clock goes inside of 10. Skinner inside, got too far underneath. Here comes Sydney Love out of Cibolo, Texas. Bailey launches, got the three.
That's just too easy. If you're SMU, that transition defense has got to be so much better as Ty Skinner is going to respond in her own way, aggressive at the rim. Taking another hard hit. She's getting beat up a little bit here tonight. I know her body's hurting. She was telling me a little bit before the game, she's like, man, Rachel, I'm getting old. My body's hurting in ways I didn't expect.
I don't want to hear that. Well, Bailey Maupin, she's got a new season high of 23 points. Her career high, by the way, is 28. She had that versus Houston. That was in December of 2024, just about a year ago. And at the line is going to be Skinner. Ty Skinner, going to be a difference maker.
Well, and Ty Skinner, only player for SMU in double figures right now. She's got 13 points. You've got a few others, you know, right around that 6, 8 mark. Who else is going to step up right now? And I know that's got to be the challenge out of Adia Barnes. And exactly back to your point. Okay, we got 9 minutes left in this game. I don't care what the score is. I want to see some pride and some heart and some hustle out there. I want to see who's going to separate themselves and take this step in a really difficult road test right now.
And now, if you're Coach Barnes, you got to work on things like this press, which they're still showing. Because it's okay, we're not going to win this one. I mean, it'd be a miracle if they did, but let's work on some things. Here's Love out front. Texas Tech with 2 true point guards on the roster this year. They didn't have that luxury last season. In the corner, Dene inside off the glass, no. Deck has done an outstanding job tonight. She's one of those players that definitely got a lot of pride on the court. 3 dribbles. Sanogo puts up the stop sign, but she gets the bounce. She goes to double figures with 10.
Averaging 12 points right at the top.
Collins coast to coast, 15 for Collins.
And I'm not even sure she's 100% right now. She's playing this game at a high level, and she's been limping for the majority of it. Well,
she was limping in warm-ups, and I called her over. I said, hey, you gonna be able to play? She says, yeah, I kind of tweaked my leg earlier today, and I'm gonna give it a go. That's like Adley Blacklock. She tweaked her back. Hadn't been in the game yet.
I said, wait till you're my age, and you wake up in the morning in your bed, you feel like you got beat up in the middle of the night just sleeping.
I love when these 20-year-olds telling us how they hurt. Here's Collins. Nice pull up from 13. Oh, she got the bag. I don't think she called it. Collins having an outstanding year. She's got 17. We'll go the other way with it. Up ahead, nice pass to Dene with the easy layup. And Fritz has 5.
Collins is tired. I see some players out here sucking some wind. There's going to be a timeout called out by Adia Barnes.
Inside of 7 to play, a new season high in points for Texas Tech. They're on another 6-0 run over the last 65 seconds. We've got a timeout, Texas Tech. And of course, that game is going to be on Saturday afternoon. By the way, the last time that Texas Tech was able to score 100 points in the game, it was a while ago against Incarnate Word, December 29th, 2020.
Tech knocking on that door. Still plenty of time left in this game, and the way this offense has been clicking They are right there, shooting 57% on the game, 47% from the three-point line. Right now, Texas Tech has been dominant this second half, outscoring SMU 38-17.
Sonogo inside, can't get it. Rebound pulled away by Thompson. That'll be her 4th board, but another 6-0 run for Texas Tech. SMU's missed their last 4 shots until Thompson nails the 3. That is her 2nd of the ball game and 4th of the year.
Well, that's what she wants to do. She is such a perimeter threat, shooting 42% on the season. When she's got her feet set at the top of the key, that is a very high percentage shot.
Up top, Nunez. Sarah waits. Bird Martin's checked into the lineup. Sarah off the glass, a little strong, and SMU will have it, closing in on 5.5 to play. Again, don't forget Sunday afternoon, 2 o'clock. Arkansas will come to town. Also a pretty new team, and outside Thompson again, out of DeSoto, Texas. She was part of the nationally ranked DeSoto High School team back in 2021 and won the state title. This is big for her. Spent 3 years at Ole Miss, and last year 65%, 66% of her shots were threes. She's one of those players that comes in with tournament experience, but we talked about players that shows they want to play.
Yeah.
I think Ayanna Thompson is one of them.
That's what Adia Barnes is looking at right now. Who's going to elevate their play in moments like this? You know, came into this game just 4.5 points per game. She's up to 11 tonight, 3 of 4 from the three-point line. Obviously, a player that scouting report is going to be out. Knowing your personnel and not giving her clean looks on the perimeter. Anybody matching up with SMU after this, as Bailey Maupin has done such a great job of being aggressive off the dribble. Like I said before, she is elite at picking and choosing when she is going to attack that lane line. 3
off her career high of 28. From the outside, the long shot, Bailey Maupin pulls down the rebound. Maupin now with 4 rebounds, 4 assists, 25 points, and efficient 9 of 14 shooting. Nunez is directing traffic. Here's Bailey. Sees a little bit of an opening. Pump fakes, leans in. She'll go to the free throw line, where she's already 3 of 3.
Bailey Maupin does such a great job, as I keep saying, attacking a lane line, refusing a ball screen, coming off a ball screen, finishing at the rim. But one thing she's great at is initiating contact and creating contact in traffic. She loves the physicality of the game, really leans into that. That's a big part of her arsenal. Does a great job of getting to the charity stripe.
Bailey Maupin, the pride of Groover, Texas. That career high, by the way, was against Houston. 2-time honorable mention Big 12. We've mentioned it previous games. Krista Gerlich says our goal is to get her Big 12, all Big 12, not honorable mention.
And I think that's completely fair. I mean, Bailey Maupin is one of the premier players in this league, and going into her last year, we talked about the urgency early on. She feels it, she knows it, she's on a mission, she wants to prove something this year.
From the outside, the 3, and this time SMU coming alive from the outside. That's their 10th from beyond the arc.
And you see right now, Texas Tech not only having an opportunity to work with some different lineups and some rotations, but doing a good job or a concerted effort of operating in the half court, working on that half court offense. They've been really good in transition and pushing the pace tonight as Sonogo. Great job, great recognition there by Bailey Maupin. They've been able to really get those slips going, and that the backside rotation from SMU has been a step behind almost all night.
And Sarah has 7 in the ball game. 3.5 to play. SMU. Again, now member of the ACC. Bristow tries to poke it, and it's going to belong to SMU. SMU, after tonight, they head to Grand Canyon. Take them on Tuesday. That'll be at 7 o'clock. You'll be able to see that, SMU fans, on ESPN+. Hey, Grand Canyon is no pushover.
Fun fact, I used to work there.
Did you really? I love the school. I mean, they got good basketball there.
It's a fascinating place. And Molly Miller did a great job now at Arizona State. Winston Gandy coming from South Carolina. A lot of great resources there in the Valley. I had a great time. It was a wonderful place to be a part of.
They were one of the first non-big schools to charter aircraft. I mean, they're not a bus school a lot of the times. Foul, by the way, that was called on Sarah Sonogo. She's going to go out. Jada Malone will come back into the lineup. Jada coming in, having her best game as a Lady Raider. 3 minutes to play, and here is Ayanna Thompson out of DeSoto, Texas. That goes without saying. You mentioned DeSoto, you talk about women's basketball. That's big time. Was All-State Texas in high school, won the 6A title in 2021. 3 years at Ole Miss, had only one start in that span. Can't get that to go down. Thompson's got 11 in the ball game.
Bristow just
that was
got
her
her
season
first,
high, by the way, last year.
Bristow just got her first career double-double, 10 rebounds and 20 points.
That's pretty sweet
tonight for the junior.
And only her second 20-point game. And a whistle and a foul. That's going to get Yulia Nokala will come into the lineup. Nokala, the junior out of Prague, Czechoslovakia. Big time scorer, and Bristow will go out with a double-double in her back. Now you got to get Bailey her career high. They wheel her around. Nice pickup by Deck. Bailey sees an opening off the glass, not able to get it. Malone. That's going to be an offensive foul on Malone.
That's tough.
I liked her battling, though.
I like her battling, and that's the type of effort. You saw Krista Gerlich not necessarily agreeing with that call, but I'm okay with that if I'm her, you know, because she's going to have to do a good job creating second chance opportunities and being aggressive on the offensive glass. Her presence down there is going to be really important as we get deeper into this season. She's up to 4 rebounds in this game.
Sydney Love comes in. Emma Nunez will go out. Dribble penetration, nice reverse layup by King. She is so shifty with the ball. King now with 11 in the ball game. And Deck's going to pick up the foul with 2:14 to play. And again, Sunday at 2 o'clock. Come on, Raider fans, make it a complete weekend. Go see soccer and softball and everything else tomorrow, and football game on Saturday. Go to church, come here for the 2 o'clock game. Sydney Love at the stripe. 2 points in the ball game. Now the number 6 seeded Red Raiders are going to host UTSA, the Road Runners. That'll be tomorrow night at John Walker Soccer Complex. Kickoff for 6 o'clock. It'll be on ESPN+. Third straight season that Tom Stone and his team will host an opening round. For tickets, call the ticket office 806-742-TECH or visit TexasTech.com. It's going to be great weather to watch soccer tomorrow night.
Listen, I am taking in this heat wave while I can.
There you go.
I can't believe it. I put up my Christmas tree a couple days ago, and I was like, this doesn't even feel right. I've been in Lubbock all month. It's been like 80 degrees.
We're going to pay for it in January or February. Watch. 1:49 to play. That'll be a turnover. Texas Tech, for the most part, has been good with the basketball this year. That's only the 13th turnover of the ball game. And they came in averaging 18, which is just a little bit more than last year. Bailey Maupin's going to go out. Not going to get the career high, but what a game for Bailey Maupin, and gets a good little kudos from Coach Gerlich. Bailey with 26 points, 4 rebounds, 5 assists. What stands out to me is those 5 assists, because this year Bailey's not having to carry the team like she has the last 2 seasons.
Yeah, she is playing a lot more comfortable. Not that she can't run the show or play on the ball or initiate the offense. She certainly can. We saw that all last year. But now you've got Emma Nunez, Love in the rotation, where Bailey can be off the ball and not necessarily always have so much pressure on her defensively. I think what I love about Bailey Maupin so much is just how smart she is. Her IQ, her cutting, her activity, her ability to hesitate and attack a lane line, as we've seen multiple times tonight. So I just think that this is got to be a sigh of relief for Bailey Maupin right now to be playing as freely and as confidently as she is.
Her basketball IQ is off the charts.
Without a doubt, without a doubt.
And what's been impressive for Bailey her whole career here at Texas Tech, unselfish. You know, there were times last year I thought she was forcing it, and all of us, and Brandy Poole, who was doing games with me last year, we thought she forced it a little bit, but that's because she cared so much and she wanted to win.
Well, and you've seen it 4 games into this season so far. She's not only, we know she can score, okay, obviously. Right. We know she's a scorer, we know she can shoot the basketball, but she can also make everybody around her better with her decision making. And by nature, she's going to demand a lot of attention and demand a lot of attention defensively. But that's the beauty of this Texas Tech team right now. We talk about the offensive weaponry and the depth that they have. You got a player like Bristow going off. You got Gemma Nunez, who can attack the rim and pick apart, you know, doubles, pocket passes, and create high percentage shots. I mean, you got Danae Fritz, you know, who is a very versatile scorer in so many ways. And so I think Bailey Maupin, like, doesn't have to have the best defender on her constantly. Collins, who is the X factor in my opinion, coming in off the bench, is a very deadly weapon for Texas Tech. I mean, this is just really fun to see Bailey Maupin with so many offensive pieces around her.
Doesn't have to do it all this year. Here's Sydney Love coming over from UTSA. The reverse, can't get it. Rebound pulled away by Thompson. Got to tip your hat to Thompson. She has done a nice job. She's got 11 points, 4 boards. She and Deck have done a pretty good job. Paris is going to have it knocked out of bounds with 4.8 left. And Texas Tech will go to 4-0 on the season. SMU will go to 1-2. And that's going to do it. Deck's going to hold it. Not going to take a final shot. So the Lady Raiders with 4 players in double figures. And of course, Jalen Bristow, a great game. Bailey Maupin, an outstanding